Hello and welcome to Health Matters on Channels Television. Thanks for staying tuned. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. Several weeks ago, we got into a bit of what a healthy diet looks like. People generally know that there should be more fruit, vegetables, and legumes in food. An unhealthy diet is a risk factor for several chronic diseases like high blood pressure, cancer, heart disease, and obesity. But sometimes you realize with shock that what you thought was healthy isn't necessarily so, and what you thought was unhealthy may indeed be essential. How can one eat, not just to live, but to be healthy? The World Health Organization says that the responsibility of maintaining a healthy diet is not just for the individual, but society as well. Therefore, it demands a population-based, multi-sectoral, multidisciplinary and culturally relevant approach. Dr. Olufemi Ladende is on the show again. He's a nutrition consultant at Rencare Integrated Limited, Lagos, and was a member of the medical team that took Nigeria to the Olympics in 1980. But before we start our discussions, we'll take a quick break. Welcome back. Now, doctor, let's talk about, we have a pyramid we're used to. I like to call it the traditional pyramid, the one that has the breads, at the bottom of the pyramid, and there it is. You have breads at the bottom. Then look at veggies and fruits, dairy, meats right up there, and sweets in the apex. That's what we're used to seeing. But scientists are now saying we've got it wrong, especially in the area of fats. They're talking about having more fat. This is the Mercola pyramid we are seeing right now. And we have fat right at the bottom. So what they're trying to say is more fat, less breads. And see, bread is right at the top. Then there's your pyramid, which you say is not exactly like the other two. Can we have the other pyramid? There's your pyramid. We have all sorts of meat at the bottom. Eggs, doctor. Would you like to explain this?
If you look at the bottom of what you call my pyramid, which is basically the pyramid built on what your ancestors used to eat, it's got a lot of meat at the base. Now that constitutes your calorie input. Calorie in a sense of you have the fats, you have the proteins, and they carry the large portion of your calories.
And calories, correct me if I'm wrong, are used for energy.
Essentially. But there are calories and there are calories. There are empty calories, which is what mostly we eat these days. But the one thing that we do need, which are the essential fats, which actually provide the satiety, is the fats that make you feel full. And if you do not have the right kind of fats in your diet, you're never going to feel full. You're always going to want to eat.
Do we get some of this fat from animals?
Of course we do.
And it's healthy?
There is nothing wrong with animal fat, really. It depends on how much of it you're eating. And it depends on the quality of it that you're eating. For example, for my money, egg is the most complete food God made. It's got right across the board all the fats you need, all the protein you need, all the minerals and vitamins that you need.
And it does make you feel full.
It does.
But how about the complaints of eggs are the single most greatest container of calories in the world? Of cholesterol in the world.
I've said this before and I will say it again. Cholesterol is not the problem. It has never been, it will never be. Without cholesterol, let me make this very strong statement. You will die. Cholesterol is found in the cell membrane of the 30 trillion cells that you have. Cholesterol forms the base or the skeleton for every single hormone that you make. So how are you going to live without cholesterol?
That means you need lots of it.
You need lots of cholesterol.
Okay, but over the years now, a lot of healthy eaters have denied themselves cholesterol. As we grow older, they tell us, reduce the number of eggs you take, you know. If you're an adult, don't take more than 3 a week. If you're a child, you can take every day. Are you dashing this to the ground?
Let me tell you what I personally do. I could eat 3, 4, 6 eggs in a sitting in a day.
And that's healthy?
It is, for me, healthy. Again, I will say this. No diet should be created for everybody. There is something we call biochemical. Yes, that's biochemical individuality. What is good for me may be poison for you. But we need to find out what your body actually needs, and we give your body that. That's the essence of diet.
Okay, we will come to that. But I want to ask you, what caused this great eye-opener? Because it's not just you. There are a lot of scientific journals and stuff out that meat isn't so bad after all. And then saturated fats isn't so bad after all, and is actually essential. What caused the game to change? Because we were held down a cul-de-sac. We have said, cut out the fat. If you control the fat, but what has happened over the last 40, 50 years? We've cut out the fat. What did we replace them with? We then play with the carbohydrates and with the sugars. And what happened? We have a pandemic of obesity. And people started questioning, could this be right? Have doctors been able to directly link the carbohydrates and sugars to the non-communicable diseases, the obesity, the high blood pressure, and all that? Except if you've been living on planet Mars. Doctors, by and large, have come to accept the fact that what we've been sold before was not absolutely correct. And if we're going to save humanity, we've got to turn ourselves around and find other sources. We found that sugars in themselves are poison, even though your body uses as one of its 3 major energy sources. Your body still wants to control very tightly how much sugar is available at any one time. And sugar is, as an individual nutrient, responsible for well over 70% of damage to your blood vessels and to your heart. Sugar. Sugar. Now let me ask this. If one were to cut out sugar from the diet totally, and by sugar I mean refined sugars, the cubes you put into your tea and you know, the granulated sugar. If one were to cut that out totally, would the person still get enough sugar for whatever it is they need in their body? Of course you do. Your body will make sugars out of non-sugar sources. We call that gluconeogenesis. Your body has the ability to create the sugar it needs when it needs it. So you don't need to throw sugar at it. And sugar is now hidden in so many things that it's a nightmare to be able to avoid it. Your breads, your pastas, everything is loaded with sugar. Would you believe even some salads have sugar in them? I do not take salad creams at all, except if I make it myself. Oh, you make salad cream. Oh, we'll talk after the show. But meanwhile, breads have been moved right up there in the pyramid. What do the breads do for us? The breads, as we understand them, and that would be pastas and other things as well. Would that include yam and rice? It would include yam and rice, except if we cooked our yams the traditional way. Which is? Stick the whole yam in and cook it with its skin. Oh. Okay. Because the nutrients are in the skin. I mean, when I was a young man walking the streets of Ebutimeta in Lagos, we used to have these, we used to call them agoin. I think the women from the beans Benin, yeah. They will bring yam